I'm Ed Latson. I'm voting no on Prop Q because I love Austin.
Ed Latson, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. What neighborhood do you live in Austin?
I live in Great Hills.
Okay. How long have you been in Austin?
So I grew up in Austin. I was born here, went to McCallum High School, went to Austin Community College, went to University of Texas, graduated there, and spent my professional life here.
So you've been here your whole life. Austin's changed quite a bit. Can you describe some of that change?
Yeah, it's been incredible. Over the past 20 years, Austin has added more jobs, more population than any other large metropolitan area per capita in the United States. And we've been number 2 in that time in GDP creation. So what we're talking about is one of the top performing economies in the country. And being a resident and a citizen of that, it's been phenomenal. I feel like I'm the first generation that's had so much opportunity to have a professional career here. Before me, people left to Dallas or Houston to pursue their career, and that's not necessary now. The average wage in the city has gone from $45,000 a year 20 years ago to over $85,000 a year. And that's a testament to our economic growth and the jobs that have been moving in and the job creation. So I'm really excited about it, and not just the economic side, but the cultural stuff too. The restaurants that are here, the 7 Michelin-star restaurants in Austin, the entertainment like Formula One and Austin City Limits and South by Southwest. And obviously those last 2 are institutions, but the growth and the impact they're making here locally and globally, and the global visibility of the city, it's just been really exciting to be a part of.
Austin gotten more fancy.
Totally. Yeah. But, it's kept its roots. I think we still have the same culture. And to me, that culture is really of collaboration and partnership and helping people succeed in their vision for whatever that is, business or music or entertainment or even, culinary pursuits like we talked about.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about the business side of this, but you're here to talk to us about Prop Q, the tax rate election that's on the ballot in November, and it's about a 20% increase on city property taxes. But you just mentioned that we're keeping our roots, keeping sort of tied down to what Austin is. Do you think that as taxes go up, as it becomes more unaffordable, do you think we'll be able to hang on to those roots?
Well, I think there's warning signs that the city leaders need to be paying attention to. And you hear a lot of talk from these leaders about affordability, but they keep taking actions that are contrary to providing relief to that. And we see this property tax increase as something that's very contrary to creating an affordable city. It's going to impact everybody, and the average person is going to see a cost increase of close to $800 if you factor in the fees and the increases from other taxing entities. And for every $1,000 of cost that's added to somebody's spend, it pushes 750 people out of the region. So we're going to lose people out of the region because of this property tax increase, and we don't think that's supportive of the city's goals or of business interest or longtime residents' interest.
Where do those people go?
Well, if you look at the population trends, you can see that they're leaving Travis County and Austin and moving to the outlying suburban cities. Leander, Hutto, Georgetown, Kyle are all some of the fastest growing cities in the United States. The surrounding counties are really growing and expanding, but you see the city of Austin being a little bit stagnant in their population growth, and it's definitely tied to affordability.
Yeah. So I want to talk. So let's sort of circle back to the business aspect of it. Businesses pay property taxes too.
Right.
With the rise in property taxes year over year, and now asking for the Project Connect, and 5 years ago raised property taxes by 20+%. This tax rate election again 20+% or 20%. How is that going to affect businesses?
Well, it's going to have a big impact, and I think it's going to be naive of city leaders to think that it's not going to have an impact on their future revenue potential. Businesses want to be in a place where they have certainty and confidence in government, and with escalating costs, they're going to be making decisions to go outside of the city, and you can see that. We've talked about some of our big employers choosing to go to Williamson County or Hayes County as their place for future expansions. And you can go all the way back to Dell Computers, who chose to set up their headquarters in Round Rock. Samsung opened a big new facility in Taylor. Apple moved from Palmer Lane, Travis County, to Palmer Lane, Williamson County for their second campus. And this has direct revenue impact to the city of Austin. So they need to be paying attention to that. And I think they need to make decisions that supports job growth within the region.
Yeah. And I mean, you're the CEO. We didn't talk about this yet. You're the CEO of Opportunity Austin. And what does Opportunity Austin do?
Yeah, so we're an organization that's fostering job-creating investment across the 5 counties in Central Texas. We really want to make Austin region the best place to live and work in the country, and we feel like there's so many things that are positive here that we can do that, but we need great leadership from our government, and this property tax increase is contrary to that.
So as far as the businesses moving out, it seems like as things become more unaffordable, if they move out, they also bring people with them.
Correct. Yeah. If the jobs move out, people either are driving farther for those jobs or they're moving out to be closer to them. And there's some interesting dynamics, I think, about the Austin region over the past 10 years. We've become much more industrial, been one of the fastest growing industrial community. And typically those kinds of jobs would not be in the city center, right? Like that's common for those to be on the outskirts of town, and that's driven a lot of growth, on the peripheral of our city. But post COVID, you've had less people coming downtown. Certainly, there's a vacancy rate that's higher than might have been expected if there wasn't COVID, with everybody working from home. And these are things we're all paying attention to.
Yeah. So a lot of businesses don't necessarily own the property that they are operating out of. Many, especially local businesses, rent. How does a property tax increase affect them?
Well, it definitely has an impact. And you look at real estate market in particular, that's probably, been more challenged than any other sector in the city. If they have a high vacancy rate, they have to cover the property tax on that vacancy. And it's going to be a stressful dynamic for them. And these are really important contributors to our city in that they're creating the spaces that attract the companies into the downtown area or other business districts. So it's an important health marker. But I think what you're saying is something important, because a lot of people in the city are renters. And, they might not think that they're subject to property taxes, but actually they are. Rents go up as property taxes go up. So whether you're a business or you're a person, you're going to see increased cost. And the average renter is going to see a $200 a year increase from this property tax increase. So, these are things that make a true impact in somebody's decision whether or not they want to be in the city or out.
As affordability goes up, a lot of businesses, they still need employees. The city of Austin often talks about, being able to live where you work. Do you think that this makes it easier to live where you work?
I think we're going to have a lot more people on the highway because of this property tax increase if it goes through, because people are going to be moving farther out and driving farther to their jobs.
So traffic's going to get worse.
It very well could.
So, having grown up in Austin, are you concerned about who are the people that are most vulnerable to this sort of tax increase? I presume that you maybe personally, do you think that you'll be okay with this if it passes? Will you be able to afford it?
Look, my family's going to be fine, but I think about my kids. I have 3 kids. As they emerge into adulthood and have to find a place to live, it's going to be hard for them to find a place that's close to the city. I think about our young population graduating from some of our great educational institutions like the University of Texas or Houston-Tillotson or St. Edwards, and they're going to be impacted. I think about the people that work in the factories and in our hospitals that are really providing critical services. It's going to have a negative impact for them and their ability to live here. So those are the people that are going to be impacted. It's not necessarily, my friends in my neighborhood, but it's something that we all, I think, have legitimate concerns about people's ability to stay here.
Yeah, absolutely. As the trend seems to be that property taxes they're not slowing down. They're going to go up. whether the tax rate election passes or not, they're still going to go up a little bit. This is going to make it go up more. There's a bond proposal for next year. There's property taxes are going to go up again. What are the long-term implications of year-over-year maximum property tax increases for Austinites?
Well, I think something that's really important for people to understand is that the city is trying to raise taxes so much that it's required to go to voters for approval. And, this is their chance to step up and have a voice and the cost of the region. And as you said, with the cumulative effect of all these taxes increase, this extra cost does not go away next year. This is something that's going to be accumulative and increasing, and we can't walk it back. So it's really important that people understand that year-over-year increases really accumulate and have a much bigger impact than a one-year increase.
Yeah. What's the overall landscape of taxes in Austin? Is this high taxes, mid taxes, low taxes? How are people able to what does this do to the overall landscape?
Well, I think you're looking at a 20% increase on your taxes, and it's going to be a cost that, if you factor in the fees, it's going to add up to about an $800 annual cost to an average citizen. So it's significant. That's a meaningful amount of money.
What could the city of Austin do differently to make it easier to do business in Austin?
Well, I think certainly paying attention to the cost that they're charging on property taxes, but also fees and development services and energy and water. I mean, they're involved in a lot of aspects of providing services. So it's an opportunity, I think, for the city to be a proactive partner that really supports development and growth, but instead they're looking at it in a way that might not be maximizing that opportunity.
So help people understand the importance of being able to attract businesses and keep businesses here, whether it be small, medium, large, doesn't matter. Why is that important to Austin?
Yeah. Look, when a company wants to move here, they're looking at a couple of different things. They're looking at, can I get the workforce that I need for my business to succeed? And Austin has one of the best young, skilled workforces in the country. They're looking at, can my workforce find housing close to my business? And obviously, we have challenges there that this property tax directly impacts. They also want to see a regulatory environment that they have confidence in, that is going to be pro-business and support growth. And the state has certainly provided that, and that's one of the reasons why Texas has been one of the fastest growing states at 7%. And if you look at the triangle between Dallas, Houston, Austin, and San Antonio, that's one of the hottest economic development zones in the world, right? That's 83% of the economic activity in Texas is in that zone. And it's really the future heartbeat of our country, I think, economically. But it requires, I think, policy that's going to support it reaching its potential. And if Austin is not reacting to that in a way that's supportive of the growth, they're going to be left out of that opportunity.
Are there things that you think the city of Austin could do differently than come to citizens and ask for more property taxes? Is that really necessary, do you think?
Yeah, that's a great question. And we feel like they're missing a revenue opportunity, certainly. If you look at the outlying communities in our metropolitan area, they are being aggressive with recruiting companies into their particular cities. And I'm talking about cities like Round Rock and Georgetown and San Marcos and Lockhart. Oftentimes they're writing an incentive that helps a company make the decision to be established in their community. The city of Austin's written one incentive in the last 12 years, and that was to support a local company, get a federal match and a grant. So they have not been aggressive in growth. I think largely our political leaders have been apathetic to the investment that could really drive revenue from a taxing district. And we think that there's a huge opportunity for them to be more thoughtful in the way that they go out and attract companies in. And specifically, I talked about some of the big companies that have moved out of the region. they haven't moved out of the region. They moved out of the city of Austin into, more friendly business districts. And if they just would have retained those, it would be, a significant impact that probably would have closed the gap that they're trying to cover with this property tax increase. So the gap of $33 million that is supposedly the purpose of this TRE could have been addressed in a different way.
Yeah. From a business perspective, is it, this is their total budget is over $6 billion. The deficit is $33 million. I think it's maybe 0.5% of their total budget. From a business perspective, is that an emergency, do you think?
Well, I think what we find very troubling and concerning is that we didn't see the restraint and fiscal pursuit of savings in other areas. They just went right to a tax increase without, pursuing other areas. We really feel like there could be opportunities to review current programs and see where there could be cost savings. We don't see the city doing that in a systematic way. And that would give us a lot more confidence when they come asking for, a property tax increase, that there's actual reason behind it. But, Austin has one of the third largest budgets in the state, right? We don't understand why we're not able to be more efficient with the revenue that's already generated. I mean, what is it, $6.2 billion budget? The 3.5% tax increase that was allowed by law, plus other fee generation, totaled over $300 million in revenue. And that's not enough to meet the current needs of the city. I just don't think we understand, why this extra revenue is needed.
Yeah. Do you think that business owners are aware of Proposition Q?
I think we need to make more people aware. I think people need to understand the impact. And, this is a pivotal moment, I think, in the city's future. We've talked about how some past decisions have had a negative impact. And we want everybody to know what's at stake and that they evaluate the information and make a decision that aligns with what they think is best for the city.
So tell me about that. It's a pivotal moment. Why is it pivotal?
Well, I mean, you look back 7 or 8 years ago when the city allowed camping in the city, and all of a sudden there's tents everywhere, and it wasn't really supporting the vision for what Austin's potential is as a city and a community. I think if you go to this election on November 4th, when we have this TRE up, this is a decision that has long-term impacts, that it's going to push people out of the region. It's going to make it less business friendly and drive investment outside of the city of Austin. This is something people need to know about and make a good decision on what's going to support their vision for the future.